Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the Benz. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 We feeling the urge, feeling the purge. Buzzers electric, we feeling the surge.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This your host, Brother Rich. I'm here in UGR Studios, man. Once again, I'm always thank the people for supporting, donating. I was able to invest in the studio, man. Yeah, Red gonna go around. We got a studio right now, so we ain't gotta worry about too much. Yeah. Oh, Red is stunting right now.
I'm just stunting on my
Hold up. Yeah, that's the awards. I got 2 awards, y'all, this year. 2016 YouTube Award.
It's a big year.
For over 100,000 subscribers, and also a Black Power Award.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, thank everybody for their support. Man, I truly appreciate it, man. I read every message. I'm thankful for
Do
every
you read every
award.
comment?
No, I don't read every comment on the videos. That's a lot of comments. It's a lot of trolls. I didn't even go. This is the we building. We in the beginning stages. Let me just give you all a tour. So, we want to get 4K cameras. We building Black Hollywood. We building Black Hollywood. So we want to get 4K cameras, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We want to do web series, all of that.
360 cameras. We're going for drones. We're going for 360 cameras, green screen backdrops. We're going to be opening up the backyard in the spring. This is hibernation season. I know that I said on film that I'm going to disappear. All I'm doing is observing the rules of nature as a netter, and I'm going to be hibernating until the spring, meaning that I'll be falling back along with most of my brethren because we have work to do. As you see, there's a new facility. We're in the planet of Brooklyn. Shout out to Kings County.
Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, we're home. Mama, we made it. We're back home. We're in Bed-Stuy and do or die. And we're going to be taking this studio right here and doing some very creative things to them. So I want to definitely first and foremost say thank you to all of the supporters, all of the philanthropists, all of the people out there who are the Patreons or the people who practice, what do they call that? Patronage. And I definitely, family, y'all know, you know what I'm saying? For all of the elite members of this audience that came out to the Mount Shasta retreat, I'm not going to shout everybody's name out on this episode, but we will be doing a recap on this episode, on this channel, for the family that showed up in monumental numbers. We had a monumental time. You can go to Know the Ledge Radio Archive, Google Know the Ledge, and listen to the 2 recap shows, all right? Shout out to everyone, all right? Y'all made it possible. You made it happen. All right, and we made history together. Peace, love, and light. I love you all. Thank you. You opened up a door and made it possible for so many other people to come forth for healing. We're definitely going to be having some upcoming retreats in March and April. All right? All right. I'm going to touch on this briefly, then I will pass it to the good brother, Blue Pill. We stated in previous videos that we did on your platform that our people, who is affectionately known as the Blacks, they have a program that is intricately placed into the 3rd level of their subconsciousness, meaning their superconsciousness, meaning if you watch the movie Inception, it explains to you how ideas are supplanted into our minds to whereas we go into autopilot program. running programs. It was shown to you in cinematic form how running programs are interjected into the minds of what is known as subjects, right? That's the terminology that they used in the movie. They were basically speaking in code language, and they were utilizing terminology that those of us were very familiar with in the art of programming and mind control. Now, the blacks are programmed to conform. One of the main things that the European, when he formed what is known as Christendom, and he began his campaign of conquering us through heart and mind, to conquer the mind first, and then the body will follow. Right? Conquer the mind and the body will follow. Once he perfected what is known as psyops, and then that formed the political science, social political science, and all of these things. He studies Machiavelli, he studies Sun Tzu, he studies Robert Greene, and all of these other things. They came to the conclusion that niggas will conform once in fear, because fear is a tool. Trauma, fear, and other things is a tool that is utilized amongst its subjects to conform in what is known as the lingo that they began using when COINTELPRO was on its rise was behavior modification. Behavior modification is what was utilized amongst black nationalists to break them. Certain things like putting them into what is known as the shoe, sleep deprivation, what is known as psychiatric evaluation, going into people's minds and breaking them mentally, right? When we get into normalization, demoralization, insurgency, this is something that I spoke about on the last video with Tommy Loren. This is something that you could Google Yuri, let me get his name right. He's a KGB operative, and he spoke about many of the things that are being utilized today in America by the Germans, who comprise the largest nationality of Europeans who live in America. These people are utilizing some of the tools that were utilized in Russia, the tactics that were utilized in Germany, that were also utilized in communist Russia and Marxism to code the masses in order to exterminate them. So no, Brother Rich, black people are programmed to conform to what they deem as the people who are their superiors. These niggas, whether house niggas or field niggas, are still niggas that are part of the plantation. Nobody talked about that. They want to, I'm a field nigga. Well, you still on the plantation, nigga. And eventually, if these niggas on the porch give you the motherfucking finger to drop your to drop your cotton satch and come into the house, then you will come into the house. So now, like I stated when we did the video with Black Dot about the Trump election, what you're going to see before the inauguration is niggas getting in line and coming up with they will intellectualize fuckboy-isms. You will see a wave of fuckboy niggas intellectualizing fuckboyisms. That's what you're seeing. Of course they have excuses as to why these niggas is in Trump Towers. Give me the minutes of Kanye West meeting with Trump, and I will let you know what kind of sexual depravity took place inside of that motherfucking hotel. Just based on what I'm seeing in the energy that those two possessed when they were standing next to each other. But there's a level of fear, there's a level of race trading taking place, there's a level of unconformity. These people don't have answers. Like Kanye told Sway, you don't have the answers. So what do you do when you don't have the answers? You conform. If they had the answers, they will go to Trump Tower with these motherfucking answers. So I don't necessarily agree with the fact that black people, what were you saying about black people? That they're what again? Rich? These black people are forgiving, or what black people are the blacks?
I guess they're conforming.
Yes.
They're normalized. Well, basically, you know, the black celebrities are. Because, you know, black people, we're celebrity. We worship celebrities at this point. So by the celebrities going to Trump, they're normalizing the racism that Trump is spewing. And black people are saying, you know what, it's not so bad. Kanye went to see him.
Because remember,
so-and-so went
this
to
is
see
celebrity.
him. Jim Brown is an activist.
activist.
He went to go see him.
Because keep in mind.
So it's normalizing it.
Well, in the conscious community, it's consciousness first. Right? That's my man. What you talking about? Me and that nigga had veggie wraps together in '08. You understand? At a Valentine lecture. It's consciousness first. So in the industry, it's industry first, meaning that it's celebrity first. These niggas are gods. They're part of a pantheon. You're not understanding how they see each other. Trump is not the first celebrity president. Okay, I wrote a rhyme earlier. I said whether Donald Trump or who was the other Donald? But I said they're living the dream of Ronald. Okay? They're living the dream of Ronald Reagan, that is. Okay? That is your first celebrity apprentice president who went super ham based off of celebrity. And what did the celebrities do? They lined up and they conformed. The OJs of the world, all of these niggas from the 70s. Webster, they sat on their laps. All of these niggas from the Playboy Mansion. All of these niggas who they had blackmail on. All of the ones that conformed during the OJ era, they sat on the laps of Ronald Reagan and let them niggas wreak havoc on who? The niggas. Because what did Chris Rock say? I love me some black people, but I hate who?
Some niggas.
If you don't think that this campaign that they're cooking up is against the undesirables or the niggas, then you don't understand what the fuck is taking place. You don't understand how these governments or these regimes or these fascist states come through. They normalized Mussolini when he came out. Do you know that? Do you know that American press normalized fascism through Mussolini? And then when Hitler came forth, they say he was the Mussolini of Germany. Do you know that they normalized that? Do you know that they normalized fascism? You know what I'm saying? So this is a...
Explain to them what normalization is.
Normalization is basically the utilization of propaganda, the utilization of satire, the utilization of fake news. Right? This was something, that's why you see Russia in the news so prominently right now, because Russia, through the KGB, were the ones who perfected, and also by proxy through the Israelis, the Mossad, who basically are the same motherfuckers. You understand? They basically are the same. You got to do the research on certain Russians. You got to do the research on those people that are in Israel right now. Those are Germanic tribes. Those are Germans, okay? Those are Germans, and those are the Israeli highborns. Those would be like the Ray Lewises of the Jewish society. Those would be like the Kanyes of the Jewish world who sold out the bottom feeders and their fans to get put in the oven in order to get their own state. That's what you see in Israel right now. So these people, it's propaganda, it's fake news, it's satire. It's sitting Charlie Chaplin down, you know what I mean? Charlie Chaplin playing Hitler, normalizing racism, normalizing. People don't do the history on how Hitler rose, and he was unopposed for many, many, many years because they normalized the Nazi party before his rise. He didn't come as a wave like you niggas are giving the story posthumous. He came and he was accepted because, keep in mind, Professor James Smalls broke it down. The majority of Europeans, descendants in America, I told you before, when you step to a European, make him identify his or her nationality. Tommy Loren is a German. Alex Jones is a German.
Donald Trump is Germanic tribes. These are Germanic tribe crackers, Europeans of Germanic descent. What is their descent? Are they Spaniards? Are they Portuguese? Are they Germans? Are they Franks? That's how you're able to tell. All of them are on code. I'm not going to talk too much. Let Blue cook.
44 days remaining to Trump's presidency. They put him on Time magazine. We told you, man of the year, the same way that they did Adolf Hitler. We already told you through the lecture, even time equals 44, okay? Jim Brown, number 44, Syracuse. Ray Lewis, Blood Monologues. You had to be there. And I explained Kaepernick's and Ray Lewis connection through the Super Bowl that they had in New Orleans. Okay? There was the precursor to the New Orleans, it was the precursor to the Super Bowl that they just had in San Francisco, of which the white Bronco beat the Panthers. So the white boys already won based on the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And yeah, it has an entire ritual. It's all of this took place under these blood moons. You know what I'm saying? So then you have Kanye West, who came out with The Life of Pablo, right? On the 44th day of the year, February 13th, okay? Gemini running up to see Donald Trump, all right?
On a what?
On a supermoon. On the Gemini supermoon.
What sign is the supermoon in, brother?
It's Gemini. What sign is?
The moon tonight.
It's dealing with communication, all right? But
Dealing with pent-up emotions. If you don't take me and Blue Pill's word for law, which you should not, I encourage everybody that's listening to this video, I'm sure this will be viral, do the research. Your brothers are not reaching. We are not Richard Reed from the Fantastic Four. Niggas don't got plastic arms. We are the Fantastic 44s, but we're not Richard Reed. We're not Stretch Plastic Man. We're not reaching. Tonight, or today for that matter, December 13th, when Donald Trump, who is astrological sign of Gemini, met with Kanye West, who is an astrological sign of Gemini. They met at the Trump Towers. The super moon is in Gemini on the same day. What are the properties of the super moon? Blue Pill did a monumental groundbreaking lecture at Nicholas. Shout out to Joel and Monique. Their new location is in Restoration in Bed-Stuy, the same place where UGR Studios are right now. Funny how the ancestors are lining everything up. Shout out to Q Butter, who's also right down the block on Thomas Boylan. And what happened with the blood moonologues is he gave you the significance of the blood moons and the rituals that have been taking place. Don't take our word for it. Just go ahead and watch his lecture. You're selling it? Is it for sale? Real quick.
yeah.
All right. So this moon is about communication. This moon is about getting together with other people of your same frequency and energy. And this moon is about the culmination of pent up emotions and feelings. And if that nigga didn't have pent up emotions about Donald Trump, he stopped his fucking show. He was cooking. He had a packed show. He stopped it in the middle of the show to speak about his adoration and his wanting or his yearning to be next to Donald Trump, his fellow Gemini, so they could combine forces. That's the last we heard of him.
Then he got rendition. And the next time we seen him, he had a blonde poof like Donald Trump. Okay?
Blue, what do you mean by he got rendition? You gotta elaborate on that,
When I say he got rendition, I mean that they say that the man was sleep deprived and he was exhausted, but he was at his trainer's house. Okay? And he was on tour. So the fact that the trainer put the call in, right, and he used the code word Jim Jones, okay, and they came and they got his ass and they restrained him and they took him out on a stretcher with restraints.
With SWAT. with SWAT team looking members. Somebody sent me a pic of that.
Yeah.
The SWATs came and got his ass.
He didn't voluntarily go. He didn't voluntarily go. They scooped his ass and they sent him to the same hospital they sent Michael Jackson to. Okay? So they renditioned him.
You didn't see no footage on him?
They renditioned him.
Yes.
All right? And they updated his motherfucking chip and his programming. And next time you seen him, his face was bloated. He don't have no motherfucking soul in his eyes. You can look in his eyes and he show up at a Rick Owens event. If anybody, you can Google Rick Owens. You can see all of the motherfucking occult situations that Rick Owens is dealing with. All right? So they spirit cooked him. All right? And now he's down to syllables. A man who, again, as a Gemini, is a communicator, is known for his lengthy rants. Now he's down to, right?
2 sentences. 2 words.
Yeah. Single syllable responses and shit, just like Trump. This guy's a good guy. That's what he says about everybody. You feel me? He will dictate his presidency from Twitter. He's not going to take advantage of the press secretary. You know what I'm saying? All that shit that Obama was doing. He's just going to tweet. And Pence is going to be the one that's going to be running the shit from the podium. You feel me? So we got this whole aspect of these Gemini aspects. Again, you got to go back. This all supermoon energy dealing with all of the fucking rituals that they was doing under that Super Bowl in Louisiana. All right? When Beyonce came out under the Gemini, when the Gemini and Jupiter aspect was hitting and everything was being twinned during that period. When she did the ritual, when she brought out Sasha Fierce. So now you got him twinning with Trump. Twinning.
Explain that.
You know what I'm saying? Look at their whole vernacular. Look at their whole motherfucking appearance. Where did the blonde hair come from? Who he trying to be like? You saw who he's trying to be like when he stood next to his daddy. And he got sunned on camera. Okay?
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy who's talking about life. You know what I'm saying? So.
And what did he say? Kanye West. What did Mr. West say?
I'm just here to take pictures with this,
Family. I stated on a video with Sonetta this weekend that after his return from being renditioned or being psychoanalysis, his psychoanalysis and being a victim of the psychiatric big industry.
Right, yeah. You're talking psychotropics. We're talking psychotropics.
We have, me and Blue have a personal vendetta against the quote-unquote big pharma and the malpractices that take place inside of what is known as the hospitals. Our grandmother, Esselie Nesbitt, my mother's mother, we witnessed for 10 years the effects of psychotropic drugs and how it can compromise. I mean, damn, I feel like I don't want to break down on camera, but how it can compromise someone's psyche and turn them into somebody who you don't know. So this is personal with us. When I saw them take our brother and what I know that they can do to him just with a few pills, family, understand what we're trying to explain to you. And then when you do the further research on some of the plans that are being laid out on how they're going to deal with some of the people that are outspoken, how they've dealt with some of our brothers and sisters that are political prisoners, the Sundiatas of the world.
Alfred Woodard, I think the brothers call it Angola 3. 44 years in the box. That's how they do your political prisoners. 44 years in the box. All right? Columbia University is setting up an entire institution on the west side of Harlem, 125th Street, where they're going to be doing neural implants in the brains of people for behavior modification. They're going to be going inside of the brains of test subjects, They're not even using psychotropics at this point. They're going to be putting implants in the brains of melanated electrodes and electrodes in the brains of melanated people as test subjects right in our beautiful hometown of Harlem. This is about to take place right now, okay? Columbia University is finalizing the infrastructure to do this on a mass scale. They're going to use everyone from them projects that's dealing with drugs, okay? And that's going to be the test subjects that they initially put the, their funding into so they can make it an expansive project. All of the TV shows that you see right now, from Westworld to Black Mirror to all of them shits. What's another one of them joints called? Incorporated, Humans. All of them is dealing with what? The manipulation of consciousness by way of them fucking with your brain, going in your head. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say Randall's Island.
Randall's Island as well. You can see the zombies on 125th in Lexington.
So the PSYOPs, or the program that's being initiated by New York City's health department, is the fact that there is an island. Research it. Please go to Google and put in Ward's Island. Ward's Island, keyword wards for all of my Moors out there. Do the etymology and explain to the people in legalese what wards mean. They have Ward's Island, which is directly off of 5 minutes or 10 minutes away from Harlem. It's an island directly off of Harlem next to Governor's Island. And they also have Randall's Island. This is an island that is reminiscent. If New York City is deemed as Gotham City, then Randall's Island is the arcane asylum, because it is an island 5 minutes, directly 5 minutes away from Harlem on the east side. That is an island dedicated to black men and black women and people of color that have mental health issues. It is a fucking, it's a mental institution island. And then we got Rikers Island, that's in Queens, that house people who are mentally insane, but the criminals of New York City. This is one of the biggest facilities on the in North America dealing with inmates on a county level, because Rikers Island is a county jail, but inside of Rikers Island you have mental health facilities where they're doing projects and they're doing all kind of tests, and they are manipulating people's mental health through psychiatric evaluations, through lobotomy, through psychotropics, and then they're releasing them on the public. So what I'm saying is, in Ward's Island, I just told you Rikers Island, those are for people who committed crimes. But on Ward's Island, you're not a criminal according to your according to the law, but you're mentally insane. This is an asylum, and every day, every single day, like clockwork, they bring those people right on 125th Street in Lexington and unleash them. These are your K2 smokers. These are some of your dope fiends. These are your rapists. These are your predators. These are some of the people who are panhandlers. These are some of the people who have been beating up elderly people in the neighborhoods and robbing them. And I mean, I could go on for days, and I'm not necessarily negating the whole population of our brothers and sisters with mental health. I'm not drawing a blanket over y'all, because some of y'all have intentions of doing good in life. Some of y'all are upstanding citizens, but the majority of the mental health patients in New York City, them niggas are crazy. They are seen as the walking dead. They are the useless eaters, and what they're doing in quote unquote the society is they're creating a level of what's the best word that I could say, because sometimes I say desensitization.
Normalization.
No, damn. That's why that's the blue. Normalization. So you're going to have a lack of empathy. You'll have a lack of sympathy. Keep in mind, it's strategically planned on 125th Street because the Metro North is 1 block away. So the majority of the Europeans who work on Wall Street, court systems, Board of Education, corporate America, and anything, They all live upstate New York. That's where Europeans of quote unquote power, for all you Hillary Clinton ass niggas, that's where they lived, in Bedford Hills. For all of the niggas, all of you niggas in the Beehive, all of you Beyonce ass niggas, that's where they live, upstate New York. And they come into New York via Metro North. So when they get off on Metro North, they have to go past the methadone zombies. They watched Night of the Living Dead before, or they watched Fear of a Living Dead. They binged on the Living Dead series on TBS. Then the next day, when they got off the train, they see the actual Living Dead. So then they go about their lives, and they go about their businesses, and they go into corporate America, and they go to dictate policy. And how the hell do you think policy is being dictated towards your people? They cooking you, because the way that shit is set up, they gotta walk past living dead people all day.
You know, experience is the master teacher, and if you live long enough, you live to see somebody who you thought was wrong. You could just, whoa, this nigga's crazy. This nigga's a fucking idiot. Damn, this nigga's stupid. He made a move, and the move ended up being the right move. So after he made the move, you say to yourself, yo, that nigga had it right. Yo, that nigga, that crazy, that nigga, he on to something. Do you ever look at, when you look at Kanye West, or you look at some of these celebrities that make their moves, whether it be with the government, the president, or whatever, do you ever say to yourself, you know what, because of my experience in life, this shit might be a chess move. It might be a chess move that 90% of the population can't understand, but because I seen this shit happen before, with Ray Ray, who had no motherfucking common sense, but he made a move that nobody understood, and it worked out for his benefit. I kind of get it. And I kind of know where he's going with this. Is it like this with Kanye, or am I stretching? Please talk to me.
I think Kanye West, of course, you know, we could say that he's a creative genius. You know what I'm saying? But I also think that we can clearly observe the situation to say Kanye West is in over his head. You know, Kanye West has been cooked for a long time. We've just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to his music, you can tell that Kanye West has been cooked. But there's this whole aspect of a society where we are in love with train wrecks. You know what I'm saying? We're in love with train wrecks. So the people were able to pretty much, what's the word that I'm looking for? They were, what's this word that I'm looking for? That they were enabling this nigga's craziness. Okay, they was enabling. They was enablers of his craziness until he got designated by the societal aspects of mainstream media, right? Who are just like your doctors in white coats. So if mainstream media says, look, this nigga's officially crazy. Fake news people. Okay, the fake news people painted this nigga crazy, right? Same way that they call Michael Jackson Wacko Jacko, and they finished him. It's the same thing. We've seen this script happen before. Okay, assassination. Elizabeth Taylor, right? Elizabeth Taylor had to back away from him, right? Princess Diana had to back away from him before she got bodied. It's the same thing with Kanye West. Kim Kardashian is backing away from him, right? So he serves as a viable tool when he's useful. Now that run is up because he threw rocks at the throne. Can't use you no more. You know what I'm saying? You've seen too much, you know too much. You got to go. Now we got to label you crazy. So now the extermination is beginning. The assassination, the character assassination has already set in. So we give the brother what? A 2-year timeline. We seen it with ODB when he came home. Talk about it. Outside of the mental institution. He threw rocks at the throne. okay, where he was telling Bush and them, look, my grandfather, great-grandfather was Chief Cuffy, okay, and what? As a Shinnecock Indian, he said what? They own Manhattan. Y'all jerked them. Y'all took Manhattan and this, that, and the other, and shout out to Miss Cherry and everything. She verified all of that. He's a descendant of the Shinnecock, and he knew his history. He was talking that cloth talk on camera that you don't be talking on camera. Okay?
They don't remember that.
He went to the mental institution. He was locked up in Clinton. Right? Malcolm X's grandson was telling me that he used to walk around with Clinton with shit smeared on him. Okay? So he was certified cuckoo when he was up there. All right? And when he came out of that institution, what did you see? His face was bloated. Same way that you see Kanye. And his face bloated. They hitting him with the elephant juice. Anybody that's been locked up with niggas on Thorazine, okay? You know what the fuck that is, man. I know what it is. You get bloated. Okay? Your cognition is off. Like I said, his words are very slow. They're very few. Okay? 6 months, bruh. I give him 6 months. You feel me? Unfortunately.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Look, hold on. What's the new hashtag? 2024.
Oh, he changed it to 2020. Yeah, he changed it. Nigga compromised.
This nigga's new hashtag for president is 2024. That's what he was tweeting today. Go on your phone and pull up Kanye's tweets.
Hold on. Like I said, it's all Law 44. So I don't need to look it up. I understand what I'm looking at. You understand? Y'all don't. I'm trying to give you this cloth talk. So even when it comes back to him and this whole aspect, like I said, of him twinning himself with this energy, you know what I mean? What sort of situations, like you said, can we get the minutes from these meetings? What sort of compromise are these people having? Because Kanye West represents presidential politics. I told you that on his channel before. The brother's from Chicago, okay? He ethered Bush and made a way for Obama to come, right? Obama was the first hip-hop president, okay? He vicariously made that possible. He was on the scene making Chicago what Chicago was before Obama came in, all right? Yes, George Bush said, look, this was the worst motherfucking incident that I had in my presidency. He didn't say Iraq. He didn't say 9/11. He didn't say Katrina. He said Kanye. Okay? And then Bush said that. And the first sitting president ever to call somebody a jackass was Obama about Kanye because of his ritual that he performed on September 13 years after the death of our brother Tupac Shakur. Okay, and that was never even mentioned at that motherfucking MTV award. They used him and they used everyone else on that stage to do a mass ritual. Okay.
Explain which award that was with Jack Black. That's the one with Taylor Swift. That's the one with Lady Gaga covered up. She had meat covered up all on her and blood. That's the one with Beyonce came out in a red dress and a red shoes and presented the award to Taylor Swift all in all red. That was the most satanic, ritualistic MTV awards ever. And like Blue said, it was 13 years to Tupac's death anniversary on September 13th. That's when they was super cooking in that award show right there. That's the award with Madonna kissed 100 lesbians. Hold on. He was cooking. These motherfuckers was spirit cooking. So like Blue said, with your boy Kanye, okay? He's been compromised. He's a rap, all right? That's the end of an era. Hold on. That's the end of an era because George Bush couldn't stop Kanye. Trump stopped that nigga. He ain't even in office yet. He parked his ass. He ain't even in office yet. That's all I saw when he was downstairs with him. Like, he's a good guy. This is my guy. This is my boy. He was sitting on my lap. His lap dances are great. Keep in mind, go look at the Famous? The video?
Yeah, famous.
Remember the Famous video? Donald Trump is in the bed. Kanye is in the bed. His Wiz is in the bed. Who else is in the bed? Taylor Swift is in the bed. Bill Cosby's in the bed. Ray J's in the bed. Amber Rose is in the bed. That's the famous video. Okay? So, how many people came out of psychiatric evaluation of our black people and got blonde hair? Wasn't it Chris Brown? How many of these niggas can we pull up? This is homework for the audience right now. How many of them come out of this Monarch programming where they bone you and create all of these altars and create, like Blue was saying, or Rich was saying earlier, he gives donations for people in Hollywood. I got a phone call the other day. One of my peoples was out there on 25th. I don't go on 25th anymore. If anybody knows my activities in Harlem, I only come out on Saturdays. Because ever since they put that camera up there, I've been falling back, dealing with orders, dealing with business. We've been doing shit like this in bat caves. I will never come on 25th again to do what it is that we do, knowing that we got surveillance right above us. So we came out on 125th Street to meet the God because they had to, you know, they wanted to meet me and you because they know us from the Jackie era, the tunnel era, when we were working with Jackie Rowe with Mike Tyson and whatnot. Make a long story short, they said, Red, Blue, we need to let you know that the brothers and sisters in Hollywood are behind y'all and they're rooting for y'all because you brothers are saying what they can't say. You brothers are exposing a level of wizardry and witchcraft and buck breaking that's taking place in the Hollywood Hills that they're tired of wasting out. They're tired of selling their ass. They're tired of selling their souls in order to move forward. And you brothers are saying things that they can't say because they're contracted, and because if you say certain things based on oaths and based on contracts, you could get your tongues cut out. You understand? You could get your tongues cut out. So she was applauding our efforts. She was applauding our courage, our bravery, and all kind of other things. I was like, all right, that's what's up. You know what I mean? We just doing what the fuck we got to do and whatever. You know what I mean? Just tell the brothers who are watching from Hollywood if they feel like this is something that it is that they want to support that. Get behind it because that's what it is that we do. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm only saying that to say that the information is definitely something that our brothers and our sisters who are both going into Hollywood and that are already there really need to consider. Like, this is nothing personal. This is business, and this is to show you that you may be walking into rooms and you may be walking into a reality, or you may be walking into a whole situation that you thought this shit was The Voice. You thought it was American Idol. It's not that. It is not that. It may be that at the first day. It may be that at Smoke and Mirrors. That shit may be that when you in the reception room. But you go behind those closed doors and they close the doors on your ass. It's not that. It's everything that Corey Feldman was saying. It's everything that Rosenbaum has been saying. It's everything that Dave Chappelle has been saying. It's everything that Denzel Washington is saying. It's everything that all of the people who are trying to speak to you, and the whistleblowers, they can't speak to you with, they can't blatantly come out and say certain things. Yeah, they cannot give it to you like this. We don't have any ties. We don't have any contracts. We don't have any fucking friends. You know what I mean? We're not compromised.
I'm in the hills in California, but it ain't the Hollywood Hills, goddammit. All right? So we ain't got that. But let's just go back to these 44s real quick, because I need to prime the people for this next lecture. So the spirit that governs, right, the archangel, should we say, that governs Gemini, Gimiel, 44, all right? The supermoon, last supermoon of the year, is this particular supermoon. And we don't just want to give you this information where you are caught up in the rapture of how other people are using it. You can use it too. All right. So this is a particular supermoon that aids and abets your communication. It aids and abets also the positive aspects of Gemini, the twins. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with Mercury, communication. All right. You definitely want to get into that. You know what I'm saying? You want to look up what the attributes of this supermoon are and how you can tap into it because it's powerful. I'm going to post some pictures that I captured yesterday when I was up in the mountains at high altitudes. Like, this is an amazing moon, some powerful energy. Of course, the people that know how to utilize moon energy for rituals going to take advantage of it, right? So, boom, Jim Brown, like I said, 44. Ray Lewis, I will explain that shit very clearly once I lay the Super Bowl ritual out, how it applies to Kaepernick and Ray Lewis in the Super Bowl that they participated in New Orleans when the lights went out at 13:22, and Beyonce and all of that shit that came back in San Francisco.
Shout out
this last Super Bowl, okay?
Law of 44 student body. At this point, those that are out there, the student bodies, the ones who caught the live stream that he did for the Blood Moonologues, the ones that caught When in Rome, the ones that caught the Law of 44 lecture, the Serum of Everything, the ones who caught the Fear of a Black Messiah 1 and 2, give this man his props. Please line that shit up, because everything that he was saying today on the Gemini moon, what's his name? Ray Lewis, Jim Brown, Omarosa, Kanye West, all of these Law of 44 resonators. He broke this shit down in his lecture. There's 44 million black people in America right now. It could have been any one of these niggas that showed up at Trump Tower. Why them?
Yeah. And of course, like we told you, Trump is the 44th sitting president. He's the 44th man lined up to occupy that office, because Grover Cleveland occupied the 22nd and the 24th. So Obama is the bootleg 44. Trump is the real one. He's going to utilize that energy. He's cannibalizing him. Same way that he's cannibalized Kanye, because Kanye is the carrier of that 44 energy. But I told you in that 44, I've been told you in the Fear of a Black Planet lecture that Kanye has passed the torch to, I did that in 2010, I think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in Atlanta with Professor Griff, where we say that Kanye West representing, right, Ursa Minor, the little bear, okay, the constellation that we know as Polaris, okay, the precession of the equinox pushes it to Draco, and of course the energy of Kanye has to go to Drake. So Kanye has to be destroyed. Kanye has to, that star has to burn out, because it's a constellation play. We're looking at actual stars. We're looking at a planetary play. We're looking at something cosmic. It's not just a physical, you know, it plays out in the physical realm, but these are cosmic stories that are taking place in real time.
Yes.
All right? And it's all precipitated under this particular number 44. And like I said, I'm going to have to give you an updated version of this lecture before, okay, this presidency kicks in. Because last time that we did it on Halloween, Brooklyn Nicholas. If anybody has been downtown, Brooklyn or in Fulton Avenue, all you see throughout the entire downtown is tesseracts. Everywhere that you go, all you see is tesseracts. They got the whole Christmas celebration shit laid out with tesseracts. And then down Fulton Avenue, you see squares and motherfucking triangles and circles. That's all you see. All of that, again, is a result of the terraforming of the information that was displayed that day at Brooklyn Nicholas. If you don't understand the quantum realm, if you don't understand quantum physics, what I'm saying is going to sound spooky and crazy to you. I just came from a mountain where, like I said, the people that participated from this channel will tell you that they seen the mothership. They tell you they seen gnomes. They tell you they seen motherfuckers coming out of the forest. They seen Bigfoot, all types of shit. So I'm past the point of trying to convince you niggas that there's something that exists that you don't know about. You need to get the fuck up out the matrix, out of this false reality, and get into some real shit and start learning quantum. We introduced a concept to this channel a year ago, and it was called intertanglement. dealing with quantum entanglement. We call it intertanglement. So all of this shit that we're talking about with these artists and these athletes, right, popping up on this particular day, dealing with this energy, okay, and how one particular person has so much energy coalescing around them. We're dealing with intertanglement in the quantum parlance, but we call it intertanglement, okay? Because these are entertainers, and everybody that's participating and looking at it as if it's entertainment, no, the joke's on you. You know what I'm saying? You're being normalized. You're being affected in a way in which you can't motherfucking make sense of. So you need to go to YouTube and look at hypernormalization. It's a documentary that came out. Huh?
I couldn't find it on Netflix.
Find it on YouTube. Hypernormalization. It will make a lot of what we're saying seem a lot more real because they go all the way in. All right? They go all the way in. Hypernormalization is from the same director that did The Century Itself, dealing with Edward Bernays. Of course, I'm serious. It went all the way up. Bars.
I gotta give you this. Go on YouTube and research Yuri Alexandrovich. Demoralization, destabilization, insurgency, normalization. This article has been shared on multiple platforms by multiple Neanderthals. It was trending from the 80s onward. When I went and searched it on Google, it was trending. This shit was moving around. This amazing interview was done back in 1985 with a former KGB agent who was trained in subversion techniques. He explains the 4 basic steps to socially engineering entire generations into thinking and behaving the ways those in power want them to. It's shocking because our nation has been transformed in the exact same way and followed the exact same steps. That's demoralization, destabilization, insurgency, and normalization. Just put that in Google, okay? You will begin to find what it is that I'm talking about. That will be in the Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah Part 3 that we're going to be doing in Norfolk, Virginia in January. I'll explain this in detail. As a matter of fact, Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah Part 4 in Norfolk, Virginia. We're doing Part 3 right here at the UGR. Hold on. Hold on. Facts. Law 44 merger with Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah live at Blackamoor Studios. Black Magic 363 Studios. I just renaming shit and all that. Live at Black Magic 363 Studios. I think we're gonna bring 30 RSVP, 20 to 30 special guests from special invited guests. We're picking from our 100,000 plus membership. There are those of us. Now, Ruby Selah will be front and center because she lives on this block. And there are going to be others that we're going to specifically choose to come in here. About 30 of y'all. You're going to have perks. We're going to give you gifts. We're going to give you swag bags. You know what I mean? We'll also give you the PDF of the lecture, but you got to see this in real time. I think we're going to do pay-per-view via the platform of Black Magic 363. Why pay-per-view? Oh, let me tell you. Check this shit out. Pay-per-view is going to solve a lot of the fuckboy shit that we go through when it comes times to support and when it comes time to give back, when it comes time to reciprocate all of this cloth talk. Oh, we call it cloth talk. We call it cloth. You call it prophecy. You call it cloth talk. Some of that chinchilla, okay? Yeah, niggas been giving you burlap and you cool with that because you niggas shop at TJ Maxx and Burlington, so I'm not mad at you. You don't know what cloth is. You don't know what real cloth is, okay? That's that good velour. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? I think we said enough. What me and Blue Pill did is we did not drag Kanye West. What me and Blue Pill did, we not go belligerent on that man and talk about his cave Becky. Because we said what we had to say, and you see that shit play out. You know what it is. We don't got to keep beating a dead horse. But what we did do is we brought forth,
and we did an epic motherfucking interview dealing with all of that on Sanetta's show, the Hip Hop News and Media. All right, that was Prophecy, or Cloth Talk as the brother calls it. You know what I'm saying? Where we spoke about them Hollywood Hills, and we spoke about the Armenian aspect of, you know, the witches and the gypsies.
shout out to Lamar Odom, who just checked into rehab again.
After getting divorced from Chloe.
Again. Shout out to that nigga who's a ball player who was piping Kim Kardashian, allegedly. I don't know, but they got a black dude. Shout out to Kanye's handler, Chris Kardashian's, the nigga who looked just like him, who was in Trump Tower, who the alt-right niggas ran over to get him in the elevator. That shit was horrible. Like, it's pitiful. They had the Winter Soldier getting that nigga in the elevator. White boy looked like the Winter Soldier from Iron Man or Captain America. What the fuck is going on right now? Huh? Talk to me. You John Monopoly ass niggas, Bondsworth Bentley ass niggas. Like, where are you niggas? You let an icon sink like the Titanic in a record amount of time. Like I said, George Bush couldn't stop Kanye, but Trump did before he even got into office.
Yeah, hold on. Where the fuck is Kid Cudi at?
Where's Kid Cudi?
When you need him?
Where's you where you black astronaut ass
Where
niggas?
Big Sean at?
You couldn't beam in, you bird ass niggas. Where's Big Sean at? You not protecting your boss? That's not cloth talk. That's not boss talk. You niggas with your sauce talk. That your sauce talk is duck and soy. That's the only sauce you niggas possess is soya sauce and duck. I'm not feeling you niggas at all. I would not. You niggas couldn't protect me. Pusha T. Where's Pusha Tons at? You supposed to bring the clips to free this nigga from rendition. What the fuck? Like, I'm not feeling your whole roster suspect. Yo, good. Who the fuck is coming? Yo, who the fuck is coming at? You bird ass niggas. You know what I mean to say? You mean to tell me you couldn't pull a deep six and get my nigga out of purgatory? Huh? Good money with good music ass niggas. What the fuck? What? Like, why do niggas have labels for if your labels don't double as the A-Team? If your labels don't double as the motherfucking Reservoir Dogs? Where's Mr. Black at? Where's that nigga to clean shit up? Where's Mr. Gold and Red at?
What's Ian Connor?
I'm not feeling you guys. Yeah, what's ASAP and Ian Connor? Ian Connor, the rapist, the one who was accused of rapist because they're going around Europe piping white chicks on some Pizzagate shit. They're going around the industry doing these orgies. They're going up in Hollywood Hills, getting piped and piping these Kylie Jenner cave Beckys. Hold on. And then if they say something slick or if they want to reveal what's going on, they get rape charges thrown on them. They get Ian Connered. Kanye said at his last concert that the future was A$AP Rocky, who he dragged. The future was Ian Connor, okay, who is, you know, he's on some Kanye shit, the way I see it. You know what I mean? One of his models, one of the drones and whatnot. He said the future was Nas Rock. We were in Harlem. These niggas supposed to be Harlem artists. Okay. You ever seen them on Sinetta TV? You ever seen them on Black News 102? You ever seen these niggas walk? Yeah, we took over Jim Jones and Cameron's jobs. We the new diplomats. You ever seen these niggas come and see us? Not at all. So I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Shout out to Polo Ground Records, where I used to work, who is the label of the A$AP Rocky. Shout out to teaching all of them, Brian Leach. But all I'm saying is, when it comes to dealing with your hood and checking in with the brothers and sisters that are out there in the front lines that are basically representing the culture of Harlem in the 2016s and the now. Now, I ain't talking about 03 with pink furs and all of that. I'm talking about now. Have they dropped the bag? Have they come through? Have they built? None of that. So what I'm saying is, where were you at for your brother Kanye? Where's the brigades at? Where's the troopers at? Where's the shooters at? I know the cloth that me and Blue was cut from. If they rendition Loaded Lux, nigga, I'm kicking doors down. That's the homie. If they rendition any one of the brothers who are on Sinetta TV, who rep with us and stand on the front lines with us, and we know that this is family, you'll never get away with that. We busting motherfucking guns, my nigga. We kicking doors down. We winding up on TMZ. We going belligerent. You could never do that to the team. So where's your team at? All right? That's the question that you have to ask. So, like I said, me and Blue were very cordial with dealing with this situation because at the end of the day, Blue Pill interviewed Kanye. What year was that?
It was 03. It was before Through the Wire. It was before Jesus Walks. You know what I'm saying? I put that brother on the front page of my newspaper because I knew there was something special about him.
Four Corners newspaper.
Based on the fact that he produced the Blueprint album, and to me that was the most monumental album of an era. So I felt that he needed to be showcased. And when I found out that he was actually trying to come out with an album, I went up to Rockefeller, got an interview with the brother, sat down for 3-something hours, you know, interviewed him. He rapped Jesus Walked to Me. I had to transcribe all that shit. He rapped like 3 fucking songs to me. But he poured his heart out, man. This was a brother that was genuine about his craft, man. He loved, and he wasn't too much of a hell of a rapper. He was still learning his chops. But his thirst for it, his drive for it was so real that I was like, yo, I want to support this brother. So I went around various different venues and reported on him. And, you know, I had to walk the brother at the 4040 Club when they had debuted Through the Wire. Like, they was carrying him. Jay ain't show up, you know what I'm saying? The press didn't really show out. I remember walking the brother from 4040 to his car. He had a Benz Jeep at the time, you know what I'm saying? And he was with his shorty at the time, yeah. You know, and I had to, like, the brother, his head was, you know what I mean? I was picking the brother's spirits up, just talking to him, giving him that cloth talk, like, look, brother, you know what I'm saying? This is the beginning of a good thing. Like, you got to be optimistic. And his shit wasn't trending. It wasn't doing nothing. And then it took off, you know what I'm saying? And then you get him standing on the motherfucking pool table at the album release, dumbing out. And it was a wrap, you know what I'm saying? There was no containing that brother.
Shout out to the first wifey. Shout out to the sister who did the poetry to cook them. I saw that today. I think that's an ex-girlfriend. I don't know.
Every time I seen the brother, up until this point, he's shown love. You know what I'm saying? So the offer is open. It's on the table, brother. We need to do an interview or some sort of intervention. You know what I mean? I want to know what's going on in your mind, in your head. I want to know if it's still there. And I will say this, like, the brother used to have handlers around him immediately after he popped. You know what I'm saying? It was a white boy named Gabe, man. And this motherfucker was the gatekeeper of the gatekeeper. He used to work for a PR firm that had the Rothschilds and all of that shit. All of them had their little children, you know what I'm saying? All of the daughters and shit. That was the power girls. They was the PR firms that was running up and controlling all of the motherfucking events. Yeah, all of the Lizzie Grubmans and everything. They was the ones that started gatekeeping in the motherfucking industry. You feel me?
So,
and then that's when
the Zionist Israeli Mossad influence came through PR. I just want to say that for everybody that's out there promoting PR as if this is the way to go. This is how they got you niggas. Financial advisors and managers and booking agents before that. Booking agents put you niggas in Nebraska. Booking agents put you niggas in Lapalooza. Booking agents put you in front of all of these Caucasoid Neanderthals that cloud your motherfucking mind and make you think that all of these cave Beckys and all of these motherfuckers is cool because they bought a motherfucking ticket to Lapalooza. Nigga, you're not even a headliner. Shut the fuck up.
So this is for the motherfuckers that know. This ain't for the audience who don't know. This is for them niggas that know, the people in his inner circle. These for the people that know. You know like I know. You know what I'm saying? They've been forming circles around this nigga for a long time. He's been disconnected. Okay? He's been motherfucking isolated. And he was a force to reckon with early on. That brother has a powerful energy. You know what I'm saying? He represents the most genuine aspects of a Chi-Town, artist, creative. You know what I'm saying? And he's an icon of his generation. And like I said, he embodies the whole aspect of the Ursa Minor, the Polaris aspect of saying, look, he defeated 50 Cent when they first put him up in a ritual, which was a Twin Tower ritual on 9/11, where he had to compete against 50 Cent, and he conquered him. He won. So he won that title. He won the direction of hip hop. And everything that you've seen thus forth has been what? It came out of that particular route. It came out of that road. Okay? 50's a Cancer. He's George Bush. He's born on the same day as George Bush. Okay? So he cannibalized and cooked both of them niggas. You understand? This shit is deep. Like I said, it's astrological, it's cosmic. Do not get caught up in the whole aspect of what you see on the physical plane. This shit has a celestial correspondence to it, all right? As a Kabbalistic correspondence to it, all right? And you will get all of this motherfucking information on this Law 44 lecture. Peace.
Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah, part 1 and 2 at fearofblackamoormessiah.com. Hopefully, Brother Rich puts the link in the chat. Twinpillars.bandcamp.com for the Scorpion King project. That is a 10-song project. The bonus package is going to Tidal. It's going to Apple iTunes. That will have 11 tracks on it with a bonus, as well as a remastered, remixed version of the project. Although this project is mixed and mastered, but we're taking it a step further. All right, and it also have visual representation. Kingscounty.bigcartel or kingscounty.com, KINGSKOUNTY.com.
That Made for This remix featuring the one and only Brother Blue is coming. You understand me? Yeah. At Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram. Get at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be going live on that bitch. Peace.
Look out for the upcoming live stream with Black Magic 363, Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah Part 3, where we put everything into perspective with slides, information, and all of this cloth talk. That's coming in January, right up in the studio. Shout out to all of the members who have supported and brought us back into Kings County, which is Brooklyn, up into Bed-Stuy. We got the studio. We're going to be cooking. Look out for the live streams. Look out for the relaunch of Kings County media platform. Shout out to Sonetta. Look out for Red and Blue to be nominated for Black Pout for the Sonetta Awards at the debate on the, what's that, the 18th? On the 18th on Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday. Yeah, to be held up by our good brother and recognized for the monumental work that we did for this year. KT on the 17th at Nicholas in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy pay-per-view as well. Go and Google Nicholas Bookstore, Nicholas Brooklyn. If you want to get into the pay-per-view, he's doing a triple header. Luke Cage Decoded, Arrival Decoded, and Doctor Strange Decoded. It's all in the mind. It's all in your mind. It's all mental. So, like I said, shout out to everybody who has been here, who has supported UGR. Shout out to all of my people who supported the Facts Initiative. That campaign is finished. We might start on the next campaign. We made about 2,000 out of a 10,000, but we don't let that stop us. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to show you how we're going to spend that 2,000. We got apps and websites coming, membership sites. Love and light to the family. Peace to you and yours. If you see Kanye out there, don't just stop that nigga to take a selfie. Tell him to watch Black Magic 363, because we got some motherfucking food for thought for the good brother. We got some food. Tell him to come back home. If you see any of these niggas out here lacking in traffic, tell them to come back home.
And that Young Thug video, that's coming next. All right?
Red and blue purple like Prince. 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 We feeling the urge, feeling the purge. Buzzers electric, we feeling the surge. Feeling the words, killing the birds with immunity. Pillars of unity. This is the form of the Voltron. This is the age of the Ultron. This is same stage as the Pope on. This is the sage you can smoke on. Copper pound, came on the scene, I was copper down. All I was missing was copper crown. Summer 16, I turned copper brown. Look for revenge in the copper town. Capping New Jersey and copper crown. 21 gun salute, jumper sound. My power pieces, the crystals be talking, the cloth that be talking. King County clothing, yeah, king of New York, and I'm Christopher Walken, the missiles embarking. This is me talking. I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the fence. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple like